The narrative begins aboard the alien mothership in vast space. From the original Independence Day movie, a monster is watching Thomas Whitmore's, Bill Pullman, stirring speech during the war that happened 20 years before. The thing growls, but Whitmore is startled to realize it is merely a nightmare. Patricia, Micah Monroe, the daughter of Whitmore, works for the current President Elizabeth Lanford, Sale Award. Patty worked as a pilot for the military before quitting to care for her ailing and troubled father as a result of the invasion. Dylan Dubrow Hiller, Jesse T. Usher, the son of Stephen Hiller, who passed away in the years following the conflict, is a friend of hers. Dylan is the pilot's captain in the military. Following the conflict, the so-called Earth Space Defense was created, with Area 51 serving as its administrative center. Jake Morrison, Liam Hemsworth, Patty's fiancé, is repairing a machine with his closest buddy Charlie, Travis Toth, in a base on the moon. Jake uses his pod to raise the machine and firmly anchor it in place as it begins to loosen and almost fall onto the base. Later, General Jiang Lao, Chin Han, his superior, scolds him. William Fichtner's character, General Joshua Adams, is led to the jail where several captured aliens who have been kept alive since the initial conflict. It is said that they had been catatonic for the previous 20 years, but a few hours ago, all of them suddenly became alive and agitated. In Africa, warlord Dikembe Umbutu, Deobia Opere, is waiting for David Levinson, Jeff Goldblum, and Floyd Rosenberg, Nicholas Wright, in a base. Dr. Catherine Marceau, played by Charlotte Gainsbourg, is a former love interest of David. They are at the scene of an extraterrestrial ship that has crashed, one with a brand new form and arrangement that they have never seen. However, Levinson and Marceau are unable to pinpoint the precise reason why the ship was drilling into the Earth at that time. They hear from Umbutu about how he and his soldiers overcame the aliens and took their weapons. Umbutu alleges to have witnessed visions of the aliens. Additionally, the ship they've discovered has sent a distress signal to its home planet. Zhang's niece Rain, Angela Baby, pays the astronauts on the moon a visit, and Charlie falls in love with her. Dylan also turns up, which causes conflict because Jake nearly killed him during training. By hitting Jake in the face, Dylan returns the favor. Jiang reprimands them both severely. A spherical object is spotted approaching the lunar base. Both those in Africa and Lanford's crew can see it on Earth. Lanford instructs the craft to be shot down because he views it as a danger. It is sent flying backwards by the laser cannon shot from the lunar crew. All teams rejoice, believing they have defeated the aliens once more. Jake takes David, Catherine, Umbutu, and Floyd from Africa to the crash site of the craft on the moon, where they discover a sizable container and retrieve it. In a retirement community, David's aging father Julius, Judd Hirsch, is promoting a book in which he makes the claim that he was responsible for saving the planet. Dr. Brakish Oken, Brent Spiner, has emerged from a 20-year coma in a hospital. He jumps out of bed right away and starts drawing symbols from another planet on his room's walls. An event honoring the downing of the craft and the 20th anniversary of the triumph against the invaders is celebrated in Washington, D.C., on Earth. Many survivors of the initial alien invasion are present, including the ailing and elderly General Gray, Robert Loggia. Lanford appreciates the work put out by the lunar team. Unexpectedly approaching to speak, Thomas tries to warn everyone that they're coming back as he is introduced. He, Umbutu, and Brakish all feel the same sensation at the same time. Just as high above Earth, a huge spacecraft that is many times bigger than the original mothership is approaching Earth. When it first hits the moon base, Jiang and several other people are killed, and Rain witnesses this. The ship levitates parts of China and Dubai as it crosses the North Atlantic Ocean, wreaking havoc wherever it goes. Skyscrapers, automobiles, and people are levitated in the air and fall back to the Earth, destroying London, Shanghai, and Dubai. Dylan notices his mother Jasmine, Vivica A. Fox, working at a medical facility as she guides a lady and her newborn baby to the hospital's roof during the commotion. The mother and her child are saved, but Dylan is saddened to see Jasmine die as the building caves in beneath her. While the attack is underway, Julius is on his boat and is hit by a sizable wave, but he manages to survive. Later, Jake comes across Dylan and expresses his condolences. He claims to understand the suffering of others since his parents died in the first extraterrestrial assault when he was a youngster. He regrets that the last thing he said to his parents was that he detested them. Thomas visits the prisoner alien's detention cell. He goes in to talk to it, but before Patty and the other troops can react, it snatches him with a tentacle. The extraterrestrial tells Thomas that she is on her way. When Patty displays a picture of a sphere, the alien becomes enraged. The troops fire at the alien, causing its cell to burst open. The alien is killed by Umbutu as it crawls out of its biomechanical exoskeleton suit. The military receives a readout from the new mothership using infrared technology, and they are able to see the alien queen in a room near the top of the spaceship. They believe they can stop the Queen's fleet if they can kill her. Lanford gives the order for the counterattack attack. Attacks by the recently upgraded Earth Air Force are met with fierce opposition from the mothership and a brand new generation of alien assault spacecraft. When an alien comes into their path, the pilots fly into the ship and start firing on them. In the northern Atlantic, the new mothership deploys a powerful beam to drill into the planet's core. A boat full of gold-seeking men is reached nearby, and they are given money in exchange for intelligence and assistance in halting drilling. They humorously request $100 million from the government, and they immediately receive it. They begin their surveillance right away. The alien fighters also strike Lanford's command post in the Colorado mountains, where they murder her along with the majority of her cabinet. Adams is promptly sworn in as her replacement in Area 51. For children who had been separated from their parents and were leaving Florida for the first time on Earth discover Julius. The oldest girl, Sam, Joey King, who is responsible for caring for her siblings but has no knowledge what happened to their parents, is consoled by Julius. Until they come across a school bus full of children whose driver abandoned them, Julius drives the vehicle. The 4 children are loaded aboard the bus by Julius, who also drives the other children. Breakish, meantime, opens the container and finds a sizable white sphere that resembles the one that was shot down. Floyd touches it to activate it because he doesn't know how to open it, and the sphere starts to move. It speaks English and tells how the alien harvesters wiped off the race to which it belonged. The aliens had taken their planet's core and used it to fuel their spacecraft, as they had done to countless other worlds. The sphere also describes how it made an effort to escape to Earth, but was unable to do so because the moon crew shot down the ship required for the escape. The pilots begin to understand it's a trap and that the Queen is aware of their approach as they move closer to her. The aliens use a burst that resembles an EMP to take out the pilots' weaponry and planes. Before they are slain, Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain all succeed in escaping. The enormous ship's Queen's chamber splits apart and flies off in search of the extraterrestrial sphere. It is decided to use a nuclear bomb to murder the Queen after luring her to a remote location. Patty offers to lead the attack, but Thomas escapes before she can since he knows it would kill him. David gets ready at the scene of the attack as the other pilots prepare to engage in combat. The Queen's shields begin to fall as Thomas flies into the ship. Once she is caught in the trap, Thomas sets off the bombs, losing his life in the process but destroying the ship. Everyone prematurely rejoices because they believe the Queen has passed away. She really is still very much alive. The 100-foot-tall Queen, who is furious, runs riot around the abandoned region and attacks the pilots who are trying to take her out. By the minute, the drill is also getting closer to the core. As this is happening, Julius directs the bus in the direction of David. Attacking the bus in motion is the Queen. Patty soars over the Queen in her jet and opens fire on her defenses. The Queen's fleet begins to gather around her in an effort to defend her, but she still manages to take them out. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain maneuver through the swarm while attempting to pick up speed in order to separate and launch a fresh attack. They manage to escape and fire behind the Queen. She erupts from her exoskeleton after receiving fatal injuries, flailing around before ultimately collapsing and passing away. The drilling stops when the other aliens are destroyed. Earth is once more rescued. Ascending, the mothership departs from Earth. Following their reunion, Jake and Patty share a kiss. Rain refuses Charlie's attempts to initiate the conversation, much to his amusement. When the fight against the aliens is taken into space before they return, Breakish then approaches the pilots and his son with the sphere and claims that it can provide them with new technology and weapons. Everyone agrees, and Breakish says it's time to kick alien ass as he ends the movie. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more daily videos.